What's up guys, Chun is back. I've got a 4th gen underused match today against krypton998. He was greatly anticipating this rematch after the last game we had. I met him on the RPX Zat chat, which is Wild Chase's new Zat. Ever since AAX went belly up. Rest in peace AAX, I guess. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started. I lead with Moltres and he's leading with a Yanma. I figured that I immediately had the advantage since I was 100% sure he would switch, so I just decided to go for the U-turn to scout for the switch, but surprisingly he stays in. Now I had to decide who to go to, and I had to end up going to Melodic, and he goes for Hypnosis first turn and it hits, which is okay. I had a sleep immune poke to go to, but at least now he can't put anything else to sleep, and Marvel Scale is activated now, so, and I am a defensive Melodic. So when I saw the speed boost, I kind of raised an eyebrow because I thought Yanma couldn't get speed boost, but I forgot it does have it as one of its abilities. And I figured since he's gonna stay in, I might as well bring Moltres back in, and he goes for the Roost, which is interesting. So I'm trying to decide. I'm pretty sure it has Focus Sash, so I go for the Air Slash, and he does protect to continue getting the speed boost, and he is at +3 now, and I go for the Air Slash. Now he's definitely faster now, despite the fact that I'm Choice Scarfed, and I'm thinking, how am I going to deal with this? Because this looks like it's getting pretty annoying. I didn't want to lock in the Flamethrower either, in case he had carried a bulky water, which I'll have to play around if he is carrying a bulky water. So he thinks for a while here and as to what his next move is going to be. Now while all of this is going on, he is getting trolled by someone else on the internet. I guess who he was chatting with. It wasn't on RPX, so, but in the end he is going to decide to stay in and go for the Air Slash, and I'm just gonna stay in and do the same because I really want this thing gone before it gets too many speed boosts. Even though it is just a Yanma, I just don't want anything lingering around that could pose any possible threat, no matter how great or how minute it is. So that's what we both proceed to do, but this does go on for a while because, as I stated, things were happening. So yeah, anyway, he goes for the Air Slash and I do the same. Good thing I don't miss, and I get him down to his Sash. Now here he's actually going to protect, and I guess he just wanted to scout what I was gonna do, if I was gonna stay in or if I was going to switch out. But eventually he's going to decide to switch over to Lantern, because I think he realized here that I've clearly got the advantage here, because I can just out damage it whether he has Roost or not. And after he protects and goes for the Air Slash, I think he definitely decides, yeah, I'm definitely staying in, so he is going to go to Lantern at this point, just to force me out, and the Air Slash does next to nothing, which is to be expected. Now, I'm looking at who I can go to, since obviously I can't stay in, and I was thinking this Lantern is either a Parafusion set or a sub-Charge Beam set, and I'm actually fearing the latter more than the former. Since Parafusion, it can do some damage, but it's really just more annoying than anything else. So I figure Melodic is going to be the best switch in. Even if he throws Thunderbolt predicting that, I know Melodic can take it well, since Lantern's not that strong offensively without any boosts. Then I have Recover. He shows the Thunder Wave, so I know it's a Parafusion set. Now here I decide to go to Donphan, predicting the Thunderbolt or Discharge. And I was trying to decide back there whether to keep Melodic in and try to burn Sleep off or go to Donphan. But he shows Confuse Ray, which I completely forgot about. I'm not gonna lie there. So now I have to make a decision again. Will I stay in and Stealth Rock? Will I stay in and go for the Earthquake, risking the Confusion, or will I go back to Melodic? The damage from Confusion is negligible, since this Donphan is the old school physical wall. Surf is going to do a ton of damage, even from Lantern, and he goes right for it, and it does exactly what I expected it to do. It's here that I decide to go for the Earthquake instead of the Stealth Rock. I was really weighing my options there, but I decided having damage on Lantern and trying to get it gone was more important than Stealth Rock, which sounds crazy, I know, especially given the long-term effects of entry hazards, but as you guys will see, I don't have too much to hit Lantern hard with on this team. And because it's an old school Donphan, it doesn't have any attack EVs, he lived the Earthquake, which he couldn't believe, but I kind of knew he would live it. So I decided to switch and go back to the Melodic, hoping to bring Donphan in later to set up the Stealth Rocks. I'm going to try to burn some sleep turns here. And I also wanted to see which Electric Stab he carried. And he does go for the Surf, which does nothing. I'm hoping I can wake up and just recover off the damage he does to me, but he goes for the Confuse Ray, which will be annoying since it's stackable with sleep, meaning it won't activate until I wake up, so I basically have next to a 0% chance to do anything. So I stay in anyway to try to fight through it at first, and he shows that he does carry the Thunderbolt, but as expected, it's going to take a lot of those to knock Melodic out. And by then I would have woken up and recovered off the damage, so I was contemplating for a bit to whether or not I should keep Melodic in to burn off more sleep, but I decided to just speed things along and go straight to Torterra on the Thunderbolt to force Lantern out. And I did this for a reason. While I'm sitting there sleeping, Lantern's getting leftovers recovery, and I don't have Toxic on that Melodic. I have HP Grasp, but I feared that it would miss the one-hit KO if Lantern got too healthy, so the fact that I was asleep and confused augmented that decision. And I minimized attacks as well. Now here, he decided to go to his own Torterra, and I went straight for the Woodhammer. Didn't want to play any games at all, so the game lagged for a little bit, but I guess the RNG was deciding whether or not to bless me with a crit, which I do get, and damage-wise it mattered. I do have other things to deal with Torterra, but it would have taken a lot of time to do it, or Melodic would have taken a lot of damage just to beat it. So he brings Yanma back in to force me out, and I go back to Moltres, and he roosts knowing that I won't stay in and risk taking 2 air slashes without getting to do anything, because of Stab's super effective in the flinch rate. So he does go for the Protect to get the second boost. And now he has the speed advantage. Now here I got pretty scared because at first I thought Focus Sash would be activated again, but then I realized it's only a 1-turn use even if you go back to full health, and he must not have, he didn't realize that either. He thought that Focus Sash would activate again, but it doesn't. So even though he roosted, Flamethrower still one-hit KOs it. So I don't have to deal with any more annoying bugs. And he's contemplating for a long time who to bring in on the free switch. But the reason I locked in the Flamethrower though is because I didn't want to risk Air Slash missing, even though it's 95% accuracy. But he does settle with Hitmontop, which I hadn't seen yet. Since I'm locked in the Flamethrower and Hitmontop has good special defense, and I don't want to take a Life Orb Technician fake out if this is Technotop, I switch and go to Melodic since Marvel Scale is activated to burn more sleep, and it turns out he is Technotop. Or is he? I stay in, and he goes straight for the close combat. After seeing the damage, I knew I could take a second one barring a crit, So I stay in hoping to wake up this turn, and hoping I could, after 2 special defense drops, I could hit it with a surf. That was an option as well, but he actually shows bulk up, which really surprised me. So going for surf is out of the window. I'm gonna have to recover at this point, because he went for the bulk up to make sure the next close combat would take me out, and thankfully I do wake up. But after the damage I saw, it's gonna be a clean 2-hit KO, unfortunately. So it's pretty unfortunate. I'm really in a pickle here, and because if I allow this to linger, Hitmontop could potentially sweep. I do decide to just stay in and go for the surf since he's back at -1. Was hoping for the 1-hit KO, but I just miss it, and the close combat is going to take me out. And I figure worst case scenario I could revenge kill, but the life orb damage is actually going to take out Hitmontop for me, so it is a double down. Now here I am going to decide to bring Primeape in just to scout his switch in and see what he's going to bring in. Maybe he'll bring something in I've already seen, maybe he'll bring something in I haven't seen, so I figure Primeape's going to be the best switch in this situation, even though the commonplace to go back to your lead. But I do it. I bring Primeape in and he brings Lantern back in. It's not a good matchup for him at all, because I can threaten the 1-hit KO with close combat. So he brings Dusclops in immediately, and I go straight for the close combat, which was not a good play at all on my part. Excellent play for him, because it was either that or U-turn, and I really should have U-turned there, but I didn't expect him to carry a Ghost. So I am going to go to Donphan at this point. I figure this is the best chance to set up Stealth Rocks, even though it's pretty well past mid-game now, and I'm just planning to fodder Donphan out. I knew I could take 2 turns of burn damage since I knew the Will-O-Wisp was coming, and he actually shows Shadow Sneak, which actually surprised me. I expect that on Dusknoir, but not Dusclops, given its horrible attack stat. So burn does take me down, and I just end up going to Arcanine since he can't Will-O-Wisp it, and I carry Crunch, which I do go for here. It does over half, which is very respectable damage, but I was hoping for a 1-hit KO, but I guess that hope was a bit too much given Dusclops' defenses. So of course he carries the Pain Split. Was kind of hoping for a defense drop there, but didn't get it. I do have the advantage here though, because he can't Life Orb stall me with Pain Split, and he's at -1 attack, so Shadow Sneak is probably never going to 1-hit KO. And I knew between Pain Split and Life Orb recoil, he'll be healing less and less every turn, and the second Pain Split heals a lot less here. So he is at a disadvantage here. So he's gonna actually go to Lantern on the switch out here, and I am gonna go right for the Crunch just to keep him honest, because another Crunch would have taken Dusclops out. And it doesn't KO, but he is definitely in range for an Extreme Speed to pick him off. Extreme Speed, in my opinion, really wasn't risky at all, because even if he went back to Dusclops, predicting that, I could just Crunch again and hit something, worst case scenario. But he does think for a while here who he's going to bring in, but eventually he is going to settle on Dusclops. So that's what he proceeds to do, but I think he thinks for a while here who he wants to bring in. But he's only got 2 guys left, I believe. He's got Dusclops, and he's got a Pokemon that he hasn't revealed yet. So here I thought he could possibly pull a double switch, as I've shown Crunch already, but then I think, wait a minute, he's going to Shadow Sneak and pick me off. So I just decide I'm not going to keep Arcanine in. I'm going to go right to Moltres, and seeing that Lantern is gone now, I plan to lock into a Choice Scarf Flamethrower and try to finish this game up, since the Bulky Water is out of the way, and he is in range where Flamethrower will easily take Dusclops out, and he did try to Shadow Sneak, but that was a no-go. So he is going to decide to just stay in, and take the flamethrower, and then Dusclops will go down. Now, his last Pokemon is Xatu, and he sits for a long time here before bringing it in. But I think it's because he realized that he's pretty much lost this game unless I horribly screw up. But he is going to bring the Xatu in here, which I hadn't seen yet. And since it is Xatu, I figured that it's a little bit better on the special side as far as defense, given its physical defense really isn't great at all. But I knew Flamethrower would still do a good amount of damage to it, and it may possibly even one-hit KO, taking into account Stealth Rock. But yeah, this goes on for a while, guys. I do apologize about that. But I think he probably just realized that he lost the game, so because I just had too many guys left. Moltres, Arcanine, Primeape. Yeah, even Primeape would take it on. So since I had a super effective coverage for it. But anyway, in comes Xatu, and I am just going to decide to stay in, lock myself, keep myself on the flamethrower. I was thinking it would actually one-hit KO, but I just miss it, unfortunately, and he rests off all the damage. So I'm thinking this thing's got early bird to wake up a turn sooner. And in all honesty, I didn't even consider this to be a sleep rest talking set, and it actually turns out to be a cycle shift set. But he shows the sleep talk here. Thankfully he gets rest, and I decided to bring Torterra in because I wanted to finish the game up with him. And I guess he forgot about his own early bird because he wakes up a turn early and he tries to sleep talk and it doesn't work and the flame orb activates, or maybe he just wanted it to activate. But I rock polish up, I go for the crunch, it does exactly half, so this thing's pretty bulky. But thankfully he misses the cycle shift, and because of that and the burn damage, he's in range for another crunch to knock him out. So that's going to be the game. It's clear what I'm going to do at this point, but very unfortunate what happens at the end here. Health bar goes to 0, but a disconnect. But anyway, it was a good game, krypton998. Hope to play you again sometime. And guys, if you like what you saw, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to. And Chun is out. Peace.